How we doing, y'all? Alright, so I'm William Donnelly, and this is one of my first videos I'm doing, alright? I'm kind of new at this. And here I am in Fort Myers, Florida, once again, okay? I'm 28 years old, and I got a story for y'all. I've got a story and a half for y'all, okay? So, it's just getting my story out there. A lot of my friends have been telling me, man, dude, your story's wild, man. You really got to get it out there, man. You got to just tell people. And, you know, I prefer to talking to a group of people. You know, I get interactions, I get laughter, and laughter makes me smile, so go figure. I just, you know, I can't stand talking into a phone. It's just not my style. So, you know, here it is, man. I'm just going to do it. And, you know, get over it, right? Get over yourself. So I was 22 years old, right? And I go to Sterling Stage Camp and Theater, okay? This shirt's from '09. And I love it, man. That's my home right there, man. I lived in Sandy Creek, New York. I'm from Syracuse, but I grew up in Sandy Creek from like 12 years old and on. So I get to 22 years old, and I started living with a couple of friends of mine, living a gypsy life, you know, just meeting people, living with people, and making life happen. And I ended up meeting a good friend of mine, you know, and he's a Marine, good man. Well, you know, life has a way of crossing paths with certain people, and you end up clinging to that person, or however it may seem. Next thing you know, we decided to move to Florida, you know, West Palm Beach, Florida, East Coast. My friend from the festival ended up moving into his house, and ended up living out of a teepee for about 4 months. That was an experience. And he says, hey, I got a friend down there that's got multiple sclerosis. She's an older woman. She needs help. And being lifted into her chair, into a wheelchair, and, you know, going to the bathroom, and everyday life things that we take for granted because we have our legs, we have our feet and our legs. And so basically, we get all the way into Florida, all the way into West Palm, 23-hour drive. We do all that, and we actually start taking care of her. And I ended up going to LA with her, meeting Camille Grammer, meeting Sharon Osbourne. We went to an MS convention where Jack Osbourne was diagnosed with MS. Had Elton John as the entertainment. I was wearing a Hugo Boss suit. Couldn't believe it. Got pictures. It's a good time. I couldn't believe that that's where I was in life at 22. Long story short, I ended up start cooking with a gentleman that's a personal chef on Palm Beach Island. So there I am cooking now. I do plumbing. Been doing plumbing for 10 years. So after all that said and done, I end up sneaking in a girl into the house. I got kicked out. Oops. We all make mistakes. Look, it's gonna happen. Mistakes are a part of the journey. Your decisions are who you are, but they also represent how you're able to fix it and how you're able to go about returning your repair. You repair what you can. And honestly, you know, you try to maintain a certain ethic about yourself and about who you are. And you uphold a strong morality, man. And if you can't do that, try again. Try again. Life's all about tries, trial and error. Maintain. So after that, you know, I ended up moving to Boca Raton, up the coast a little bit with the girl I had met. And she said, hey, get this job at this beach club. There's a private beach club, Hillsborough Beach Club in Pompano near Lighthouse Point. I ended up getting a job there as a lifeguard. I knew my manager, and I had a friend that I had met that worked there too. And they also allow you to live on campus, live on property, in a dorm room. Pretty amazing, right? You get 3 meals a day in the winter, $150 a month for rent in the summer. And you couldn't beat it. You couldn't beat it, right? They paid for my lifeguard certification, AED and CPR certified, open water and pool, beach trained. Great. Made tips, getting, you know, pool getting umbrellas and chairs for people. You get tipped out. And it was a lifestyle, man, and I never regret anything in my life, because at that exact moment, that's exactly what I wanted. No regrets. No regrets. So we continued our path, man, and after that I ended up meeting this woman who had bought part of a Mr. Rooter Plumbing out in Naples, Florida. So there I go from the other coast. I met her through a friend of mine at the beach club. He introduced me to her because she had a restoration company. Restoration referrals are where the money is at. Let me tell you, man, you walk into a house that's got plumbing problems and they got leaks, right? The leaks cause water damage. Well, now that water damage is filed underneath their homeowner's insurance as water damage, so you can make a claim, and as long as you get the homeowner to sign off on that water damage through their homeowner's insurance, through that restoration company, that person that referred that restoration company gets between $500 to $1,200 just for making a phone call. It's making money hand over fist, man. And this is where my ups are. This is where my ups are. And then come downs. There's ups and downs. It's just the way of life. Acceptance is half the battle. So get this. We're living. I end up moving to Naples, Florida with her. She's 4 years older than me. Owns 20% of a Mr. Rooter Plumbing. Pretty impressive. I end up dating her for about 2.5 years. Living together in Naples, Florida, near Lely. Well, coming to find out, I couldn't work there anymore. I couldn't be with her anymore. It just did not work out. So we broke up. I tried to work there for another 6 months. Hey, quiet down, pal. So I tried to work there for another 6 months without being with her. It killed me. I couldn't do it. She crushed me. That's some Latin women. They get you every time, especially the Cubans. Woo! Well. So I then moved from there back to New York for my sister's wedding. Perfect, right? I go to my sister's wedding, hang out, do my damn thing, and come back to Florida. I got a sign-on bonus back from Mr. Rooter through a business partner that she was friends with. And so I came back to Florida, started working again for Mr. Rooter. Didn't work out. Ended up getting fired. Need I say why, but ended up getting fired. Mistakes. So I ended up getting another job at another plumbing company. Started making money, kept going. And I could not believe how quickly you can go from being up in life to being down. It happens overnight sometimes. And I'll tell you exactly why it happens overnight. So, after that, I decided to go back to New York. So I went back to New York. My uncle died, so kind of was there for my family. Spent the winter there, miserable. Couldn't believe I stayed the winter. I hate the snow. I said, I'm going back to Florida. Move back to Florida, go to Fort Lauderdale, see a few friends, and end up losing my wallet. I had a valid driver's license from New York in my wallet. Bummer, right? Lost my wallet. So then I had no ID, I had no debit cards, I had nothing. Thank God I got an iPhone and I had them saved in my phone. So I ended up moving to Tampa from a buddy that came and picked me up. Now I'm living in Tampa. Living at a buddy's house, the trailer we helped fixing up. I'm just doing the plumbing for it. Some Vietnamese guy. See, now I'm trying to learn Vietnamese. Yeah, that ain't nothing near Spanish, man. See, when I got the lango, holy cow, I could not learn Vietnamese for the life of me. So long story short, man, I ended up moving back to Fort Myers because that's where I knew where I was familiar with. And we went our separate ways, came to Fort Myers, and I had this guy with me that, honestly, he kept pulling me down, man. He kept pulling me down. And if you've got somebody in your life that's pulling you down and you know it, but you feel like you must be loyal to that person, well, let me tell you something. you take that person and you forsake it, because you have to take care of yourself. You cannot depend on other people to take care of you, because the only person that's going to take care of you is you. And that's something I learned. I've helped numerous of people countless times, and I have unfortunately left myself without. And you can't do that. You can't do that. Who's going to take care of you besides you? You can help people to help people, but you can never expect something in return. The only reason why you help somebody is to help them. That's it. So basically, I'm making this video to kind of put it out there for y'all to decide, you know. You may not like this video. I don't care. You may like this video. I do care, because this video may not be for you. But the only thing I care about is this video is the people that it is for. So as I continue, I find out I got a suspended driver's license in Florida afterwards. And I'm like, oh man. After a few visits at Lee County Justice Center, Ortiz, I end up, you know, a month or two. Oops, sorry. Not something to write home to mom about. But hey man, we live and learn. We take our scars. We make sure we earn every step forward. And as long as you have the path of self-control and righteousness, then your heart is where it needs to be. So I will prevail, and you will prevail, as long as you have a percentage of waking up the following morning. As soon as your breath hits air, as soon as your eyes open, as soon as you realize reality sets in, you have everything to be grateful for. As long as you have another day to survive, another day to breathe, another day to walk on your own 2 feet, there's nothing stopping you. Nothing. I went from recently being homeless for 4 months, from July, August, September, and October. I was homeless for my birthday, going from hotel to hotel to hotel, and not even staying at the hotel. Shit, I was just walking up into complimentary breakfasts like I owned the bitch, just because I was hungry and I ain't have nowhere to fucking sleep. But we did what we had to do, and I was working here and there, waiting on paycheck in between paycheck, and I just couldn't believe, hey, how do you go from the in-betweens? What about the in-betweens, man? When you ain't got no money in your work and you got to go that 2 weeks, you know, without money, you figure it out. You figure it out, you get by. So I met a man at a labor pool that I was working at, and he blessed me with an opportunity to move in. And he was a gay man, and unfortunately he had ulterior motives. And I thought he was trying to help me because it was the good Christian thing to do. Well, unfortunately, the only other good Christian thing he meant was he expected something in return. So his genuine help turned into, let me lend you something in return. No. He didn't respect my sexual orientation as being straight. I respected his sexual orientation as being gay. So that mutual respect was not reciprocated, which meant it was not genuine. Why did you help me? Oh, because you thought I was attractive and you thought maybe one day there'd be a favor in return. No, sir. No, sir. So I moved out. Not because of that reason, but it was a part of that reason why I wanted to get back into plumbing. I had a friend who was starting a sewer and drain company. Fine. So I moved out and then ended up moving into there in Lehigh, and things happened. Now I do kratom because the alternative isn't a part of my life's plan. Now most of you know, if you do kratom, you know. No need I say anymore. Not important. What's important is I'm maintaining with what I need to do with kratom, and kratom is saving lives. And I don't care if you say it's the same difference. Great. But are you going to say the same difference if I'm doing the alternative? No, you're not. Either way, you come off it. So, they didn't like the fact that I did it. Eventually, I changed my whole life. Came running for this guy because he was a good man in my eyes. I moved out, changed my job, changed the landscaping job, did everything I could to get back into plumbing and doing sewer and drains. Ended up having to move out. So 6 months go by, and I end up in the exact same fucking spot. Didn't mean for that to happen, did I? Shit, you wanna know where I slept last night? Right over there. Yeah, pick a spot. I've been homeless for another 2 weeks. Now life's gonna throw you curveballs. It's gonna bring you down to your fucking knees. Life is gonna punch you in the face. Life's gonna kick you in the nuts. Let me tell you something. It's up to you. Perceive, believe that you will move forward, and that life has more in store for you. But it's gonna throw you a curveball or two. So you are better to be more prone to accepting the hurdles and learning. Instead of carrying that boulder, you put that fucking boulder down and you walk the fuck around it. Because you can't stress yourself out to the point where you can't even think forward. You gotta maintain yourself, not others. Now it's good to be a good person, but not with the cost of yourself. Okay? Don't sell yourself short. But you must prevail. And just because I hit this hurdle doesn't mean I'm over it. It does not mean I'm over it. But I will tell you one thing. I just came over one of my insecurities, and that was sitting here and talking into this fucking phone. I'm Willie D, Fort Myers, Florida. It's one of my first videos, and I'm actually gonna send you the very first video. This is the second one. I just want to make it a little longer. See if I can crack any more jokes, make you laugh. Because I want to make you laugh. Hey, I love y'all, alright? Stay up, stay positive, be peaceful with yourself, and always know that there's more to life. There's always more. Take care of yourself, be healthy, do the right thing. Life tends to happen and work out better when you're doing the right thing. It's a personal karma within yourself. Now, if you're out getting high, doing drugs, and just fucking off, floating through life, things aren't always gonna work out. Trust me, I know from experience. But if you're out there working hard, praying for yourself, praying for others, and doing the right thing, and not going against the grain of life, the universe tends to work for you as it should, but without the expectation. Wrap that one around your head. Now, if you know what I'm saying, then this video is for you. Now, if you don't know what I'm saying, this video ain't for you. You gotta perceive to believe. Perception is reality. And just know that it's always gonna get better, because you can always go up from here. And then one thing I tried to always say was, man, fuck all these palm trees. I got shit to do today. Ha ha!